I'm continuing my reading. What I'm doing in this series is to read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I am reading in a chronological order of events, not according to publication or volume, so I will be skipping around as I move along. Right now I'm actually moving back and forth, sort of, between 2 Samuel and 1 Chronicles, because they basically tell a parallel narrative. Right now, this video will be 1 Chronicles chapter 12. David's mighty men cataloged. Armies of tribes of Israel joined David at Hebron. Israel rejoices in King David. Now, in the previous chapter, chapter 11, it detailed the mighty men of David, the 30 mighty men, which I think was actually 39. But let us see what they give us here. Now these are they that came to David to Ziklag, while he yet kept himself close because of Saul, the son of Kish. And they were among the mighty men, helpers of the war. Okay, pause there for a minute. It says, while he kept himself close. This is confined. Remember, he fled into Gath, and they gave him the city of Ziklag, and he stayed there for 16 months, still hiding from Saul. At the end of those 16 months was the final battle in which Saul died. So this is while he is hiding out, while he is with the Philistines, men are still coming to him and joining his army. Remember, by the end, he had 600 men with him, with all their families. So let us continue. Verse 2. They were armed with bows and could use both the right hand and the left in hurling stones and shooting arrows out of a bow, even of Saul's brethren of Benjamin. The chief was Ahiezer, then Joash, the sons of Shemaiah, the Gibeathite, and Jeziel the Pelet, and Jeziel and Pelet, the sons of Asmaveth, and Barakah and Jehu, the Antothite, and Ismaiah, the Gibeonite, a mighty man about the 30, a mighty man among the 30. And over the 30, and Jeremiah, and Jehaziel, and Johanan, and Josabad, the Gederathite, Eluzai, and Jeremoth, and Bealiah, and Shemariah, and Shephatiah, the Heruphite, Elkanah, and Josiah, and Azareel, and Joezer, and Joshabim, the Korhites, and Jola, and Zebediah, the sons of Jeroram of Gedor. Oof. Good names again. These are the children of Benjamin. This is of the tribe of Benjamin. These are the men that came out of Benjamin. And they were trained, they were skilled using both right or left hand for ranged fighting. These guys were skilled with bows and slings, or hurling stones, it says. So, but it does say this one guy was of the 30. Ismaiah. I'm not sure I recall that name in the previous chapter, though. He definitely wasn't of the 3, but let's see here. I don't see his name. I'm just kind of glancing through here. I'm not seeing, the closest name I'm seeing is Ithai of Gibeah. Interesting. I'm not sure what that means. I don't see his name in the list, so it could just be a different name. That he had 2 different names, but I don't know. Anyway, let's continue. Verse 8. And of the Gadites there separated themselves unto David into the hold to the wilderness men of might, and men of war fit for battle, that could handle shield and buckler, whose faces were like the faces of lions, and were as swift as the roes upon the mountains. Ezer the first, Obadiah the second, Eliab the third, Mishmannah the fourth, Jeremiah the fifth, Attai the sixth, Eliel the seventh, Johanan the eighth, Elzabad the ninth, Jeremiah the 10th, Macbanai the 11th. These were the sons of Gad, captains of the host. One of the least was over 100, and the greatest over 1,000. These are they that went over Jordan in the first month when it had overflown all their banks. And they put to flight all them of the valley, both towards the east and towards the west. And there came of the children of Benjamin and Judah to the hold unto David. We're going to pause there first of all. These men of Gad, these weren't just men, these were captains. They didn't bring their armies with them. They were joining David in Ziklag again. But they were all great men. They were great warriors, and they were captains. So that's interesting there. But verse 16, and there came of the children of Benjamin and Judah to the hold unto David, and David went out to meet them, and answered and said unto them, If ye be come peaceably unto me to help me, mine heart shall be knit unto you. But if ye be come to betray me to mine enemies, seeing there is no wrong in my hands, the God of our fathers look thereon and rebuke it. Then the Spirit came upon Amasai, who was chief of the captains, and he said, Thine are we, David, and on thy side, thou son of Jesse, peace. Peace be unto thee, and peace be to thine helpers, for thy God helpeth thee. Then David received them, and made them captains of the band. And there fell some of Manasseh to David, when he came with the Philistines against Saul to battle. But they helped them not, for the lords of the Philistines had advisement sent him away. So the lords of the Philistines upon advisement sent him away, saying, He will fall to his master Saul, to the jeopardy of our heads. As he went to Ziklag, there fell to him of Manasseh Adnah, and Jozabad, and Jediael, and Michael, and Jozabad, and Elihu, and Zilthai, captains of the thousands that were of Manasseh. And they helped David against the band of the rovers, for they were all mighty men of valor, and were captains in the host. For at that time, day by day, there came to David to help him, until it was a great host, like the host of God. Now these men of Manasseh, you'll note, they came not in the beginning of the 16 months that he was in Ziklag. They're coming at the end. Remember, he went out with the Philistines to go against Saul, but they sent him home, as it said here. And that's when Manasseh comes, and that's when these men of Manasseh come and join him, and they're with him when he goes against the Ammonites, because remember, the Ammonites destroyed the city of Ziklag and took the women and children prisoner, took them captive, and he went and rescued them, and these men of Manasseh were with him at that time. Now, all this has happened technically in the past, because this is cataloging what had been. So this is all probably 8 years, well, probably more like 10 years in the past from David conquering Jerusalem. Well, somewhere between 8 and 10 years before David conquered Jerusalem. But anyways, let us continue this. This is verse 23. And these are the number of the bands that were ready armed to war, and came to David to Hebron to turn the kingdom of Saul to him according to the word of the Lord. So now these aren't the guys that came to him in Ziklag and joined him while he was in hiding in exile. This is after Saul's death. This is after Mephibosheth's death. These are the armies that the tribes are sending to David in Hebron to make him king. So now this is more recent history here in the timeline as we're reading. So here we go, verse 24. The children of Judah that bear shield and spear were 6,800, ready armed to the war. Of the children of Simeon, mighty men of valor for the war, 7,100. Of the children of Levi, 4,600. And Jehoiada was the leader of the Aaronites, and with him were 3,700. And Zadok, a young man, mighty of valor, and of his family's house 22 captains. And of the children of Benjamin, the kindred of Saul, 3,000. For hitherto the greatest part of them had kept the ward of the house of Saul. And of the children of Ephraim, 20,000. And 800 mighty men of valor, famous throughout the house of their fathers. And of the half-tribe of Manasseh, 18,000, which were expressed by name to come and make David king. And of the children of Issachar, which were men that had understanding of the times, to know what Israel ought to do, the heads of them were 200. And all their brethren were at their commandment. And Zebulun, such as went forth to battle, expert in war, with all instruments of war, 50,000, which could keep rank. They were not of double heart. And of Naphtali, 1,000 captains, and with them, with shield and spear, 30 and 7,000. And of the Danites, expert in war, 20 and 8,600. And of Asher, such as went forth to battle, expert in war, 40,000. And on the other side of Jordan, of the Reubenites and the Gadites and the half-tribe of Manasseh, with all manner of instruments of war for the battle, 120,000. All these men of war that could keep rank came with a perfect heart to Hebron to make David king over all Israel, and all the rest also of Israel were of one heart to make David king. And there they were with David 3 days, eating and drinking, for their brethren had prepared for them. Moreover, they that were nigh them, even unto Issachar and Zebulun and Naphtali, brought bread on asses and on camels and on mules and on oxen, and meat, meal, cakes of figs and bunches of raisins, and wine and oil, and oxen and sheep abundantly, for there was joy in Israel. Okay, so now these are the armies that come to join David in Hebron when Israel makes him king over all Israel. I find it interesting that the larger armies come from the east side of Jordan or from the northern tribes. In the southwest, Judah, Dan, Simeon, Benjamin, they're all much smaller because they are the ones that have been fighting the Philistines for like 60 years now. So they have been, a lot more of them have been dying in battle. That's an interesting little note. Now, I will say the numbers are a little confusing. Why are there only 200 from, Issachar? And yet we have thousands from other people. And the one, Naphtali, it's 1,000 captains. Now, if they brought their armies with them, that would be like 100,000 men. So the numbers are a little confusing, and I would refer you to my video on large numbers in the Old Testament, because I think that video does help out a little bit here, although, as is my general rule, I just go with it unless I have a prophet telling me otherwise. So, it's an interesting catalog of men. These aren't the 30 mighty men of David. Those were cataloged and listed in chapter 11, and they will be talked about again later on, I believe, in 2 Samuel. But these were other men that came and joined David. But we will leave that here, and we'll pick it up in the next one.